Well, here we are in Quibdó, in what is effectively our last day here in Colombia. It's been a remarkable 10 days to say the least. Very demanding, very sort of physical, very emotional 10 days. I suspect more than anything I've come away with a country of which I knew, I have to confess, very little about. I've come away with an impression of a country that's very divided in many ways. I think there are two Colombias. There's a Colombia that we see as a facade on the face with its new airports and its creeping modernity and attempts to come to terms with the modern world. And another Colombia where there's a kind of have-not situation, people that are dispossessed, displaced, who constantly are under threat from human rights abuses, paramilitaries, guerrillas, caught in the middle of conflict in that way. Most impressive thing, I think, more than anything else, has been the way in which I think SCIAF's partners on the ground have actually operated here. They clearly have a very close affinity, a very close relationship with the communities in which they operate. And for that reason, you know, I'm firmly of the view that money given to SCIAF and donations given to SCIAF and the support given to SCIAF by the Scottish people and by others clearly filters down to where it's needed most. I think that's been one of the most impressive aspects of this trip, the way in which those on the ground really are getting to the community. In terms of what we've seen and what we've encountered, you know, we've met people that have gone through the most traumatic and horrendous experiences. One or two instances stand out to mind for me. A woman that I interviewed in Apartado who had gone through the most horrendous sexual violence, whose life really was scarcely believable in terms of the horrors that she's actually endured and continues to endure as a legacy of that. The trip upriver, 4 hours, 5 hours up the river towards San Marino, incredible landscape, and the sheer ravages that obviously illegal mining is having on the landscape and on the people there. Those two things I think leap out more than anything else to mind. But I come away with a very different impression of a Colombia that I thought I knew a little bit about, albeit I've never been here before, but I've come away with a very different impression of a Colombia that is really struggling. And as one of the diocese members said last night, you know, this is a crucial moment. You know, it's now or never for Colombia. Now's the moment in which it moves forward, or potentially it could step very badly backwards. I think if the talks in Havana collapse, the FARC are demobilised, and the kind of components are not in place for FARC to be demobilised because of immense problems for this country. But a fantastic trip, a fascinating trip, an emotional trip, and one that certainly I won't forget in a hurry.